Hey guys, it's Lisa. Gonna do a little bit of a different kind of video here today. So my husband and I are foster parents of a sibling group of 3, and we make weekly foster care videos, so subscribe if you are not already. A couple of months ago, we had come at you with 3 things you should never say to a foster child. And at the end of the video, I asked you guys if there was anything that you think I should add. So a couple people had shared in the comments of that video that you shouldn't also say to a foster child that they are lucky to be in foster care. And so I tried to kind of add that actually to our last video of what Christians need to know about foster care. But when I went to edit, it just didn't make sense there. So I wanted to make a video exclusively about that today and why you should never say to a foster child that they are lucky to be in foster care. So let's roll this clip.
One thing we have heard as we've gone through this process is, oh my goodness, well, the kids are so lucky to have you. They would just be so much better, with you guys. And that is not a helpful thing to say. Please don't say that. So just think about it this way. So if you are a parent, is there someone in your community who is wealthier, who maybe, they were inherited wealth, and so they don't even have to work, and so they could be there for your child 100% of the time. They could take them on extravagant vacations and give them a really cultured life. So is that parent in your community better than you are for your child? No, that's ridiculous to even say. It just kind of gets us a little bit fired up because the goal of foster care is to be able to come alongside that hurting family and to be a safe place for their kids until the parents can deal with their issues or whatever it is that their kids had to be removed from them, so they can work on those things so they can be reunited.
And on the flip side of that, we are so blessed to have the kids in our life. Whatever period of time they're going to be in our care, it's just been so wonderful to be a part of their lives, to have them in our lives. And we've learned so much through being with them, learning to parent them.
Yeah, so a kid is not lucky to be in foster care. It is not lucky they are in foster care. There is nothing lucky about it.
It's very traumatic.
It's very traumatic. However, I think if you asked the older two, if they had to be in the situation, they're thankful that they are here. But it's not like they would have chosen the situation. So I think just saying you're lucky is not a helpful thing to say at all.
Okay, so now you know not to say it, but what if you are a foster parent and someone says that to you? How should you respond? In part 1 of what Christians need to know about foster care, I was sharing a story from this book, Reframing Foster Care, and I just honestly love how he responded to that question. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that clip again.
Their conversation, he started just with this lady in the mall food court. It naturally led to adoption and foster care, and the big reason that this precious little girl was now a part of our family. She offered a harmless attempt to be encouraging and supportive. She's so lucky to have you. She said, I had heard things like that many times before, so was fully prepared to respond in a way that was affirming, but also slightly perspective shifting for her. It's funny how it feels like it's so much the other way around. We didn't anticipate it being like this going into it, but have since realized how much we're the lucky ones by having her in our lives. She's opened our eyes to see things we could never have seen on our own, our hearts to feel things we could never have felt on our own, and our minds to understand things we could have never understood on our own. We're certainly the blessed ones here, and our family is better because of her. She continued, people like you are so special. I could never do that. Again, I responded, we used to think the exact same thing, that only special people could do this. How could we do something that seems to require so much more than we think we have to give? We had to finally come to a place where we realize that it's less about what we think we can do and more about what we know God wants us to do, even if it's hard and inconvenient. We've learned that if ordinary people like us can do it, anybody could. Even after my extensive rambling, she still continued, I would love to do that, but I'm afraid I would just get too attached and wouldn't want to let them go. This statement is probably my favorite to answer, which I did as follows. That's a valid concern, but one that most people tend to think backwards. about. Instead of letting the fear of getting too attached deter us, we should actually let the fear of these kids never truly feeling attached to someone drive us. These kids need people who are willing to love them enough to hurt for them if they ever have to let them go. If you know you'll get attached, that likely means you'll be a fantastic foster parent. That's exactly what they need from you. And in the end, is there really such a thing as getting too attached? Probably not for the sake of these kids.
Really, this video and this series is just a plea on behalf of these kids to really consider and open up your home to a foster kid.
Definitely.
Or maybe a few.
Yes, we would love to see more people get involved with foster care. We plan to make What Christians Need to Know About Foster Care Part 3 sometime soon, but honestly, it probably won't be next week because recently got this book, Foster the Family, and the subtitle is Encouragement, Hope, and Practical Help for the Christian Foster Parent. It's by Jamie Finn, who is an Instagrammer, and she has a large following at Foster the Family blog, and absolutely love her content, and I'm really excited to get into this book, but I wanted to read it and then maybe discuss it when we do part 3. So in the meantime, there'll be other foster care videos. Let me know if there's a topic of foster care that you would love us to make a video about. So thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you guys later. Bye guys.
All my life